Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back. Today we are going to be trying out a foundation that I used to use all the time but haven't used in years, and that foundation is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. In college, when I tell you I wore this all the time, every time I would go out, every time I would go to a party, to a formal, to out to a bar, this is what I would wear religiously. And I haven't worn it in 5 years, so I'm so excited to try it out again. I didn't get the shade that I used to wear back in college because looking at pictures, it definitely didn't match. Like the shade that I had back then did not match at all. Like I don't know what I was thinking. It's embarrassing that I left the house looking that way. So I got a different shade. I think it's gonna match a lot better. I'm really excited to try this out. This has been a video that I've been so excited to do because I wore this all the time and I used to. I'm not even gonna get into it. We'll get into it in the video. So if you guys are interested in seeing me try out an OG foundation, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I have my foundation. Let me take it out of the box for you. This is in the shade 3W1 Tawny. It's the Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup by Estee Lauder. It says, Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup for all skin types, proven 24-hour staying power, looks fresh and flawless, stays color true, feels lightweight and so comfortable you won't believe it's long wear. Transfer resistant, it is 100%. Lasts through heat and humidity, medium to full coverage, matte finish, won't clog pores, oil controlling, oil free, fragrance free, dermatologist and ophthalmologist tested. Ophthalmologist? Isn't that your eyes? This is what it looks like. It is in a nice little ASMR glass bottle. The one thing that sucks about this foundation is that it doesn't have a pump, and I remember in the years that I used to use this, I would hate that it didn't have a pump. You can buy one separately for like $12, but who in the hell is gonna do that? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna spend $12 to buy a pump. I'll just put this on the back of my hand, go on with my day. But this is what it looks like. I think the shade's gonna be really good for the tan that I have on right now. I put on some Loving Tan in the shade Platinum, which is like their new deepest tan ever. I don't really think that it is, but that's what I have on. I put it on 2 nights ago. Not last night, but the night before. It's all right. I don't know. I'm trying to go through tans and trying to figure out which one is my favorite. The Liquid Gold by Suzanne Johnson is what I normally use, but it doesn't last as long as I want it to. Like if I could take the Loving Tan's lasting power with the shade of the Liquid Gold tan and make them one tan, like if they could have a baby, that baby would be the perfect tan for me. But alas, I can't do that. So I think this is gonna be a good match. I have my sponge with me because I'm pretty sure that is what I used to use in 2016 and 2017. I am almost positive that I never even touched a brush in those years because beauty blenders were all the rage and were running rampant. So I have my sponge. I do have a brush just in case I want to see how it looks with a brush. Oh, let me prime my face before I do anything. I'm going to take this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. It's what I use all the time. It's really good. Really helps your makeup to last all day. And speaking of lasting all day, when I used to wear this foundation, I'm really exposing myself right now, but when I used to wear this foundation, I would go out to the bar and I would party. I went to Penn State, just for context. So I would go out with my foundation on, my makeup all done. I'd be like, I look so freaking good. And then I'd come back and I would fall asleep with my makeup on. We've all been there, okay? Don't tell me that you haven't, because we've all freaking been there. I'm not like that anymore, but that's how I used to be. And when I tell you that I would fall asleep with this on and wake up with my face fully done, I would sleep on my stomach, like my pillow would be in my face. It didn't transfer and it didn't come off my face. So I don't know what's in here, but I have never had another foundation perform the way that this one does. It's like an ex-boyfriend that has ruined all men for you. Like this foundation has ruined all other foundations for me because this is what I compare all of them to, because I used to use this and I used it for years and it was so good that I can't help but compare everything that I try out to this foundation. So there's a lot of expectations riding on this little bottle for it to perform the way that it used to. So I'm really excited, but I'm also a bit nervous. My face has been primed, feeling nice and tacky. And I think we're just gonna go in. So I am gonna shake it. I don't even know if that's what I'm supposed to do, but I just feel like you can't go wrong with a nice shake of the foundation. There's really no directions on here. So we're just gonna go for it. I don't really remember how I used to like apply this. I think I would just kind of like wipe it on my face, being totally honest. I think I would just go like that. take some out on my finger and then wipe it on. Oh my god, this scent. You know, it says on the box that it doesn't have a scent, but it so definitely does. Oh my god, it smells like college. You know when like makeup products just bring back a specific nostalgic moment? That's what just happened. Okay, so I'm gonna take my e.l.f. sponge right here and I'm gonna... Oh my god. Now I do remember that when I used to wear this and when this was very popular back in the day, I mean it still probably is, but when I would wear it, it had SPF in it, but it had pretty bad flashback. But I feel like I heard a rumor that they took the SPF out. I mean, that looks pretty freaking good. That looks pretty freaking good. This is a pretty penny. I think this was like 50 bucks, this foundation, for like a 1 fluid ounce bottle. So it is expensive, but like for me at least, I'm not gonna get much better than this foundation. I really am not. And that's from experience that I know I'm not gonna get much better. Yeah, so it definitely is a medium to full coverage. Like it's covering everything, but I can still see like a lot of like my acne down here. But my skin still looks good. Like I don't mind the coverage that it has. And it's a really good color for the tan that I have on right now. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. I'm gonna continue with the sponge just because, actually no, I'm gonna do a brush on this side because I want you guys to see what the difference is. And I kind of want to see what the difference is too. So I'm gonna take this Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. This is my favorite foundation brush to use. Usually like the rule of thumb is like if you want more coverage to use a brush because the sponge is going to pick up a lot of the product and kind of thin it out, and I can see here that that's definitely what's happening. Like it's definitely more full coverage on this side. Can you guys see? Because of the brush that I used. And like I'm really patting it in because I don't want to like wipe the product around my face. I really want to mush it into my skin. Yeah, so brush, sponge. Brush side definitely has way more coverage to it, but I don't mind the way that the sponge side looks. Oh my god, this honestly, it's performing the same exact way that it did 5 years ago. It still looks really freaking good. All right, now I'm gonna hit the forehead. On my forehead, I'm just gonna use a sponge just because I think I like that more. Like, I think I like the way that looks more. The one pitfall of this foundation is the freaking way that you have to take it out. I wish it just came with a pump instead of having to buy it. This side with the sponge is also looking a lot more matte than this side is. Like this side still looks a little bit more tacky. And I don't know if it's because there's more product on this face because the sponge didn't soak it up or what. Now what I'm gonna try to do is I'm actually gonna try to add a bit more over here by like my jawline, just because I wanna see if this can build. I don't remember if I used to do that back in the day, but for right now I wanna just see if it can build. So I added a few dots of the foundation. I'm gonna take my sponge. Yeah, 100% can build it. What can't this foundation do? Okay, so this is the skin. It looks really freaking good. Just as I remember, just as I imagined it would look. It does look a bit more, like I don't really remember how the finish would be just because it was like 5 years ago and I was focused on other things rather than what the finish of my foundation was. But right now it looks like it's still a little bit tacky and like shiny. I'm assuming that it's gonna dry down to a matte. So I'm gonna give it a little bit and then we're gonna apply some other products on top of it just to see how they look, how everything blends together. And I'm so excited. I mean, with the tan, this is like the perfect shade. Again, this is in the shade Tawny 3W1. You guys can't see that, but just take my word for it. It's in the shade 3W1. I recommend if you are looking for more coverage, use a brush and really stamp it into your skin. The sponge, I think, is gonna give a bit more of natural coverage, you know? Like it's gonna look more like skin rather than a nice airbrush layer on top of your face. All right, I think we are good to start going in with other products. I'm gonna start with my cream contour. I'm gonna be taking this Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Fair. I haven't used this in a minute, but I used to use it all the time. It's a really good cream contour. This is what the shade Fair looks like. And with this Tantour, I'm gonna use this Luxie 512 small contouring brush. What I like to do with this is pat it on the brush and then pat the excess off in the lid so that I'm not going in with too much product. And I'm gonna focus this right above where the natural hollows of my cheeks are and pat in the product. Bringing it back into the hairline just so that everything looks cohesive and not like a stripe. Good product, this Huda Beauty, good product. And it looks amazing on top of this foundation. Like I don't want to touch it because it looks so good. Okay, so we're gonna go in on the other side now next. Again, right above the natural hollows of my cheeks. This is the side that I struggle with. But even that side looks really good. Being very light-handed with this product. I'm gonna go on my forehead too. Gonna be a little more heavy-handed up here just because I have a lot more space to work with. And I'm focusing only on like these sections right here just to kind of like make my forehead look a little bit smaller than it actually is. That blended like beautifully into my skin, like beautifully into the foundation. Looking good so far. And I just want to point out that the foundation hasn't oxidized or anything either, which I am quite happy about. I'm actually just gonna hit my jawline as well, which I don't normally do, but I feel like I want to. Who am I? Who am I? I'm feeling sculpted and chiseled and airbrushed. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I don't know if it's the foundation or what, but I'm feeling pretty good. All right, moving on. I'm gonna take concealer now. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. I'm not gonna do anything new with this foundation. I'm gonna take what I know works really well for me. This is in the shade 215. Gonna put it under my eyes, down the center of my face. And do I wanna do it? Just gonna put like a little bit. I don't know how that's gonna turn out, but that's where I wanna put it. I'm gonna take a clean side of my sponge and kind of blend that out. I don't really know if this is gonna do anything, but I like experimenting. All right, I let this sit under my eyes for a little bit, like I've been seeing people do recently, and now I'm just gonna blend it out. Apparently it helps like with coverage, leaving it there for a second and like letting it not dry but like kind of just like mattify, or I don't even know, but apparently it does good things. I'm using my fingers just because I find that I get the best finish with concealer when I use my fingers. It just really helps it to melt into the skin. Yeah, that looks friggin' amazing. It's so easy to go overboard because it blends so beautifully into the skin that it never really looks like you have too much on. So I love this product. If you're a beginner, definitely check out this cream blush. It's really good. All right, what is next? I think we're gonna set the face now. I'm gonna use my tried and true One Size setting powder. This is the best setting powder in the game right now. It's in the shade Translucent, and I'm gonna take it on my little powder puff right here that I got from Amazon, and I'm gonna focus for now just right under the eyes and set where I put concealer. I feel like I should have somewhere important to go today because of how good this makeup is looking. Yeah, this is the best that my skin has ever looked, I think. I am curious to see if this is gonna break me out, this foundation, just because I feel like I've read reviews of people being like, this broke me out. I don't remember in college if it broke me out. I want to say that it didn't, and I like fell asleep with it on. Like I was not doing the skincare regimen that I was doing right now. So I'm curious to see how it's gonna make my skin feel after a few days. I am gonna take this big fluffy Morphe brush and just take whatever is left over in my cap of powder just to set everything. Just feel like I want to set it, not so much that I need to, but just like I want to. We're gonna go in with this Fenty Beauty Sunstalker bronzer in the shade Shady Biz. This is a great bronzer. I love this bronzer very much. It's probably like in my top 3. I'm gonna take this Morphe M530 and really pack the bronzer on the brush because this is a very foolproof bronzer. You can't, again, go really all that overboard with it. And I'm gonna focus this where I put my contour. Next powder that I'm going to take is this Essence The Blush in the shade Befitting. It's just a nice nude powder blush that I'm going to use to set the cream blush that I put down. I'm going to take this little angled Profusion like contouring brush. I don't even know what this is for, but it for me is the greatest powder blush brush. And I'm going to focus this right over here. Again, patting. Always the key with these powders is to pat and not so much like swipe. you know, we're really patting it into the skin. All right, I think that is it for powders. I'm gonna hop off camera and I'm gonna do some eye stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna do some eyeshadow or just some lashes or just some mascara. I don't really know. I'm gonna do my brows as well. Then I'm gonna come back and we can finish this up with lips. So I'll see you in just a second. We are back. I decided not to do really anything to the eyes. I kind of want to keep it a natural, more skin focused look today. I just popped some mascara on. I used the, what is this? Maybelline The Colossal Curl Bounce. I don't know, this is like my second or third time using it. I can't tell if I like it or not. It's mascara. I mean, it is what it is, right? And then I used, what did I use in my brows? I used the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in the shade Blonde, and then I used my Anastasia Brow Freeze that I use all the time. So now we're just gonna move on to lips, and I'm gonna, again, just do a very nude, neutral lip. Like I said, skin focused. So we're just gonna do a nice nude lip. I'm gonna kind of speed through this. I'll leave a link to a video if you guys want to see a more in-depth lip routine, but I can't really talk when I do this, so I'm just gonna kind of speed through this whole process. Lips are done, exactly what I had envisioned. I feel like it really complements the look that I have going right now. So my final step of all of my makeup videos, if you have seen any of my other ones, is just to bring back my birthmark right here. So I'm gonna do that using this one size gel liner pencil in the shade brown, and we are back in action. So you guys, this is the finished look with an oldie but a goodie foundation. I'm so glad that I have this in my foundation collection. I am going to be using this all the time. This is just as good as I remembered it to be. This is such a fantastic foundation. If you can get your hands on it, I know it is expensive, but if you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend picking it up. If you have dry skin, I would watch more reviews on people with dry skin trying out this foundation. I am very oily and I have large pores. I have a lot of texture, so this works very well for me. I'm so excited it's in my collection. I'm going to use it all the time. It's been 5 years since I've tried it out and it is exactly the same. For me, that seems like a really good thing because I don't really like when companies switch out formulas and stuff like that. I feel like it kind of ruins the product. So 5+ stars from me on this foundation. Definitely recommend, definitely go pick it up. Definitely as good as it used to be. If you have not already, make sure that you are subscribed and that you hit the little bell so that you are always notified when I upload a new video. And I think that is it for today's little video / try-on / tutorial. I hope that you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next one.